It's October, and we're right in the midst of the Halloween month, and we're having fun with the most popular of the creature features, werewolves. We've got a gritty action horror mashup that throws a squad of soldiers against the ultimate predators. There's a hilarious small town whodunit that keeps you guessing. A surreal, dreamlike exploration of folklore, coming of age, and the beast lurking in the woods. And a blind veteran looking to face down the creature stalking his retirement community. Welcome to Watch Assignment, the show where we help you in the never-ending search for what to watch. And this month we're offering up 4 movies featuring werewolves that are instantly available to watch on Tubi and Plex. I am your curator, Mr. Streetface, and here's what we've got for October 2025. Now this month, Tubi has done a great job of highlighting their spooky offerings by showcasing them in the Terror on Tubi section. They've even produced an original Halloween-themed R.L. Stine movie, Pumpkinhead. But when it comes to good old-fashioned creature feature fun, you can't just beat a werewolf film. One of our first videos even showcases a werewolf film, Bad Moon, that's still available on Tubi, so go check it out. But that's the thing, if you're looking for werewolf movies on Tubi, you'll get plenty to choose from. But we're here to help narrow down your options that bring the perfect mix of horror, action, folklore, and even comedy. The first pick is The Chaotic Dog Soldiers, from 2002 and directed by Neil Marshall. This movie drops us right into the Scottish Highlands, where a squad of British soldiers think they're on a training mission with a special ops squad, but they find that squad torn apart with a lone survivor who tells them they need to get out of there right now, because they soon find themselves stalked and hunted by werewolves. They come across a local who brings them to a cottage, and what started as a routine military exercise turns into a desperate fight for survival as the units scramble to hold their ground against the onslaught of werewolves. What makes Dog Soldiers such a blast is the way it blends action and horror into one lean, mean creature feature. There's non-stop gunfights to push them back, because even if it doesn't kill them, they'll definitely feel the damage done. There's also that Band of Brothers military mentality between the characters, with tactical teamwork on display while dark jokes are being cracked under pressure. And this movie ratchets up the tension once the group is pinned down in the cottage. The whole thing turns into a chamber movie where the walls close in as it's an all-out werewolf siege, and the sense of claustrophobia just keeps tightening with each new attack. And a single location never becomes stale because of the cast of tough, memorable characters played by faces you'll recognize, like Kevin McKidd from Trainspotting as Cooper, who has bad blood with Liam Cunningham from Game of Thrones as Captain Ryan. Why are they at odds? Well, trigger warning for all my dog people, but Captain Ryan ends up killing a good boy, much to the dismay of Cooper. But don't worry, Captain Ryan might just get his comeuppance. The whole ensemble bring grit, charm, and just enough humor to keep things fun without losing the tension, and the script provides some twists that really flesh out the story. Also, the werewolves in this are excellent designs, looking large but lean and athletic with great faces. Initially, you only catch glimpses of the creatures and their attacks, but as the movie progresses, you get to see their full imposing figures. Dog Soldiers is one of those movies that shows just how versatile werewolf stories can be, with it almost as much a war movie as it is a horror flick. But don't take my word for it, it has a 3.4 on Letterboxd with users saying, "The guy fist fighting the f***ing werewolf is me every time I run out of ammo in any video game." When a movie is predictable and it is still good, it must be magic. Excellent cast, the production was really good, and the effects were excellent. Plenty of gore, check it out. The next pick is the comedic Werewolves Within, from 2021 and directed by Josh Rubin. We follow Finn, a sweet but slightly awkward forest ranger who gets stationed in the snowy small town of Beaverfield just as a massive storm rolls in. But that night, and another trigger warning for dog lovers, a dog named Chachi is killed with suspicious animal markings left behind. Now people are on edge, and the power from the generators have been sabotaged, and the roads out of town are blocked by the snow. Everyone piles into the local inn just as a dead body is found. An environmentalist comes to the conclusion that it was a werewolf doing the attacks. And what we end up with is a whodunit with claws, because someone in that group isn't who they say they are. What makes this movie so fun is that it takes the classic werewolf setup and flips it into a mystery game, and that's because Werewolves Within was based on the 2016 VR game of the same name, which itself was based on the party card game. It's a great setup for paranoia to run wild amongst all of the eccentric townspeople we meet, and these characters are over-the-top stereotypes played with very on-the-nose comedic tropes, and with everyone not just pointing fingers at each other but pointing guns, things get wildly out of hand. So wild that you begin to question if there even was a werewolf in the first place. This plays up horror tropes for comedic effect and blends in an aura of mystery to help keep you on edge, with the cast absolutely chewing the scenery as the small-town oddballs. It's a fun twist on the genre that is a good reminder that sometimes the scariest monster can be your own neighbor. But don't take my word for it, it has a 3 on Letterboxd with users saying, "Werewolves Within is a romp of a horror whodunit that expands on the video game it's based on. Think Knives Out meets Fargo with werewolves." The cast, mostly consisting of character actors, deliver hilarious over-the-top performances that are nothing short of an absolute blast. Crazy small town, eccentric folk, even the songs were perfect. Was a blast. The next pick is the off-kilter fairy tale The Company of Wolves, from 1984 and directed by Neil Jordan. Now this isn't your standard werewolf movie. It's a lush gothic fairy tale that plays out almost like you've wandered into a storybook, but the stories are dark and twisted, like only 80s fantasy films can do it. The film follows a girl named Rosaline, who drifts off into a dream world where her grandmother warns her to beware of men whose eyebrows meet. From there, we tumble into an anthology of fables and folktales, each one exploring themes of innocence, temptation, and transformation, all wrapped in the lore of wolves and the men who become them. It's part coming-of-age story, part cautionary tale, where every frame feels like it's pulled from a painting. What makes the Company of Wolves stand out is its unique take on werewolves. It's less about curses or full moons, and more about primal instincts, desire, and a thin line between humanity and the beast within. The movie moves with dream logic, where stories fold into one another, giving it a one-of-a-kind mood. And the production design is absolutely stunning. Enchanting fog-drenched forests, moody candlelit cottages, a vibrant crimson cloak that pops off the screen, and a fairy tale atmosphere that's both spellbinding and menacing. But what's more, there's two stellar transformation scenes. One that gets surprisingly grotesque, and the other that's so awesome they used it in the poster art. Oh, and no trigger warning needed here. No good boys die in this movie. They just get to run around the forest with carefree abandon. So you get little moments of body horror amidst fairy tale symbolism that elevates it to more of a cinematic fever dream than your regular creature feature. But don't take my word for it. It has a 3.5 on Letterboxd with users saying, "I like movies where there's a lot of dogs running around and they're supposed to be all menacing and fierce, so you can tell they're all good boys having a fun day on the big misty woods set. Great if you love cute puppies, ingeniously twisted practical effects, and horny fairy tales." Our last pick is an indie hidden gem with grit, Late Phases, from 2014 and directed by Adrian Garcia Bagliano. This movie follows a recently widowed blind Vietnam vet named Ambrose McKinley as he moves into a quiet little retirement community, only to discover it's not nearly as peaceful as he thought it would be. On his very first night there, something monstrous tears through the neighborhood, attacking and killing his neighbor, and then, trigger warning, the monster attacks and kills his best friend, a good boy named Shadow. As he brings Shadow's body to the vet, they mention that there's monthly animal attacks in that community, so Ambrose immediately suspects werewolves and starts preparing for a showdown to get revenge for Shadow. What makes this movie a standout is its blend of genres. It's got a mystery element where Ambrose has to figure out which of his seemingly harmless neighbors is hiding some very sharp teeth. But it leans into action territory where Nick D'Amici is channeling his inner Charles Bronson as Ambrose, giving him a gruff, tough, and uncompromising edge. There's a lot of fun watching him use his military training, grit, and sheer stubbornness to even the odds against the supernatural beast. And the setting is fresh. A retirement community isn't the first place you'd expect to see a werewolf rampage, and that's exactly why it works. The creature effects and costumes are solid, if even a little cute with those ears sticking up, and the transformation is quick and to the point. Its inventive premise with gritty lead performance makes this a movie worth discovering. But don't take my word for it, it has a 3.2 on Letterboxd with users saying, "Gran Torino plus werewolves equals awesome. Grab your silver bullets and let's party, baby." And if you like the elderly being part of your creature features, I've got a bonus pick for you with Mom from 1990 and directed by Patrick Rand. Now this one is a true oddity from the depths of Tubi's catalog. It follows a sweet, mild-mannered old lady who suddenly develops a craving for human flesh after a run-in with a mysterious drifter. Her son is horrified to realize Mom is sneaking out at night for a little midnight snacking. But this one's not really about werewolves since there's no lunar cycles involved. She just slowly gains a craving for human flesh and appears ghoulish at times while her son tries to keep her murderous tendencies at bay. And what makes it extra weird is that even though it's a comedic premise, it's mostly played straight, so you feel bad for everybody involved. It's a bonkers film that's both ridiculous and unsettling, and may be the perfect bonus creature feature to round out these picks if you're looking for something extra. So you have your watch assignment for the month. The links for watching these films on Tubi and Plex are in the description below, so you have no excuse not to check them out. Unless you're watching this video at a later date, and then who knows if they're still available. After you finish your assignment, or if you've already seen these films, leave a comment below with your thoughts or ratings of the movies. And consider subscribing to see what free picks we'll have next month. Until then, happy streaming.